Hare Krishna, welcome to our channel, Bhagavad-gita, here it is, because we have it, the Bhagavad-gita as it is, translation and commentary by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and my name is Labanga Latika.
Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalang.
So, we have come to the 12th chapter of Bhagavad-gita, which is called Devotional Service. And those of you who have been following us or read the Bhagavad-gita in some other way, obviously this is not the only way to access the Bhagavad-gita, knows that Krishna have been going through explaining things from different angles, but always pointing to devotional service. And now this is the chapter that speaks directly about devotional service, Bhakti, and I will read text 8. Mayeva mana adhatsva maye buddhing niveshaya nivashisyasi mayeva ata urdhavang nashangshayaha. Just fix your mind upon me, this is Krishna speaking, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and engage all your intelligence in me. Thus you will live in me always, without a doubt. So the previous verse here, Krishna was saying, those who worship me, giving up all their activities unto me and being devoted to me without deviation, having fixed their minds upon me, for them I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death. Because we're in this material world, right? And it's hard to see the end of it. It's hard to see what to do about it. But if one is just a little bit philosophically inclined, it's quite easy to come to the conclusion that this world can't be all in all. It can't be where we belong, can't be where we're coming from. And also, hopefully, we have somewhere else where we can go. And Krishna agrees with that. He describes the spiritual world. Well, it's not just a theory. He describes that stage of when the heart is pure, when the identity is realized. This is not just an theory or a concept. It is actually our natural position. And therefore, when we hear about Bhakti Yoga, it's not that different. Like, you know how Hare Krishna is called the kitchen religion, because we cook a lot of food, very nice vegetarian food. Then we bring it to Krishna because we love him. So you invite someone you love, you cook the best food you can, and you ask them to please take some food. And Krishna kindly leaves it all on the plate, and then we can eat it also. And then it's transformed to spiritual prasadam. We call it prasadam, which means mercy. So most everything in devotional service is like that. Once you've been able to shift your perspective or your priorities turning towards God, we don't have to go and sit in a cave in the Himalayas or stop speaking for a year or do something extreme. We only have to do the complete absolute thing of turning our love towards God, fixing our mind on him. And so that is both a small thing and a big thing. It's a small adjustment, but it means everything changes. So Prabhupada's purport here. One who is engaged in Lord Krishna's devotional service lives in a direct relationship with the Supreme Lord. So there is no doubt that his position is transcendental from the very beginning. The devotee does not live on the material plane. He lives in Krishna. So what does that even mean? We see pictures of Krishna. He plays a flute. He's often surrounded by his devotees. Radharani is there. The cows and calves are there. His cowherd boyfriends, his playmates are there. His mother and father are there. So how do we live in Krishna? Well, in one sense it's direct, because if the mind and consciousness is always fixed on Krishna, then that's all we can see. Then that is where we are. You know, home is where the heart is. Do you say that? Something like that. And in another sense, everything is Krishna directly or indirectly. Everything we are surrounded by here, it's nothing but Krishna's energy. So actually there's nothing but Krishna. So we have this philosophical point that Lord Chaitanya used to bring all the Vaishnava philosophers together. Achintya Bheda Bheda Tattva. Achintya, it's kind of inconceivable, but how there is simultaneous oneness and difference. Bheda Abheda. It is Krishna, but also it's separate from Krishna. But a devotee in that consciousness of love for Krishna cannot think of anything else than Krishna, cannot see anything else of Krishna. It doesn't mean he goes, stumbling into walls. But whatever is there, you see the connection to Krishna. You see it in connection to your service to Krishna. It reminds you of Krishna. And in this way, the devotee does not live on the material plane. Krishna and his internal potency, the holy name of the Lord and the Lord are non-different. Therefore, when a devotee chants Hare Krishna, Krishna and his internal potency are dancing on the tongue of the devotee. When he offers Krishna food, Krishna directly accepts these eatables, and the devotee becomes Krishnized by eating the remnants. So it is a fact. You may have come to a temple with beautiful forms of Radha and Krishna on the altar, and the whole day is organized in such a way that offerings, food is being cooked, the plates are going on into Krishna on the altar, and there are times where everybody comes together and sings and dances before the Lord's. Or you may have your own home with maybe a picture of Krishna, and sometimes even when traveling, we may not have access to offering Krishna food on the altar, but we can close our eyes and in the mind consider how we would put these fruits on a nice plates, how we would invite Krishna. Maybe Krishna is with his friends out in the forest. Maybe they would just pass by here, and maybe Krishna would enjoy to have a little bit of fruit and a little bit of water. Krishna says that in Bhagavad-gita, whoever offers me a fruit, patram pushpam palam toyam, a leaf, a fruit, a flower, or a little water, Krishna will accept that. And in that way, the Krishna reciprocates with that devotee. Krishna comes there and eats that food. And we are not in the second chapter, we are in the 12th chapter. So we have been going through these chapters. We have been bringing the logic and reason into how it's actually possible for such a thing to exist. A spiritual soul in a material body, the Supreme Personality of God who is beyond everything. But devotional service is not just theory, it's practice. We do these things to reach out to Krishna, to please him and serve him, and he reaches back to us, and we feel that connection. But it's not just a sentimental feeling. It's also based on very specific philosophy that actually explains reality in the most complete way possible. But it is also real. It is also something we experience, something we feel. One who does not engage in such service cannot understand how this is so, although this is a process recommended in the Bhagavad-gita and in other Vedic literatures. Yes, so that's actually what Prabhupada is saying. We can come very far by understanding the philosophy, by understanding things in a theoretical way. But to take that step where it becomes a reality, we actually have to do that on faith. We have to kind of open up to Krishna and say, okay, I'm prepared to try this. So we try it before we even know if it works, but our faith is not just taken out of the thin air. Our faith is based on what we have read in the Bhagavad-gita, what we have heard from the devotees, and also what we have seen, persons who are already practicing. And based on that, we can try it ourselves and actually gain some realization. So I think mostly everybody can come to the point where you can see there's a difference between a dead body and a living person. And you can come to the understanding that I am a person even if every cell in my body has changed. and we can draw it a little further, and also logically understand everything has to come from somewhere. And if there is a God, he's not going to be less than us. We are persons, we have a individuality, we have ideas, desires, friends, social life. Even in this time we are so socially distancing. We're actually not socially distancing, we are physically distancing. We definitely keep up the social connections. So this is what we have and what we like. So why wouldn't God have that and more than that? So God is a person, and everything comes from him, and he remains a person. So that is kind of maybe difficult if we are very strongly conditioned by our surrounding culture. So, but it's not a very difficult concept. But now to take that step and actually call out for Krishna by singing his names, but actually reaching out to Krishna by taking the vegetarian food that we are cooking, bringing it before him and ask him, please allow me to cook for you, Krishna. Because even if I don't love you deeply and haven't realized you deeply, I would really like to do that. So we understand a lot of philosophy. Now it's time to put it into practice. And the 12th chapter is all about that practice. And that's what we are reading right now. Thank you so much. And I hope you will come back. We try to... During the summer I have missed... posting the latest episode, so there's been a little bit of a break, but I hope we're back in business again, and I hope to see you again. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for watching. We aim for updates every Tuesday and Friday. Please come back. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down there. We also have some links and information for you, and there is of course the subscribe button. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
I'm a Hare Krishna, and I approve this message. Subscribe.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare